Greetings, magical souls, and welcome to the final unboxing video that I have to share with you. Here we go with the unboxing of the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Some of you know that I have another deck of Colette Baron-Reid. A lot of you know her, she's quite famous, but this is the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, and I absolutely love the messages in these cards. It's such a beautiful deck. And this Shaman's Dream is also one that I have had my eye on for quite a while, and it also feels particularly special and different. And I, as you know, I love the shamanic type energy. I really feel like it is something that is how we really truly connect back to nature. So this deck is we are all sacred dreamers dreaming the world into being. What will you dream? The Shaman's Dream Oracle is a powerful collaboration between master teachers Alberto, Villoldo, and Colette Baron-Reid. The imagery and insight draw from the shamanic dream world of archetypes and magic, yet offer fresh contemporary interpretations. You'll discover mythic landscapes and spirit beings and understand how the sacred realm shapes our experiences in the waking world. This oracle will reveal how your dreamscapes guide you to co-create your world and manifest your most precious intentions. Her deck's always open like this, and I love this. We are all sacred dreamers dreaming the world into being. I love it because I'm always talking about where we focus our energy on, because we are the ones that are creating this reality that exists around us. Really important. And she just says the dream world has long captivated the human psyche as a way to understand the deeper layers of our lives. The mythic landscapes and spirit beings that we encounter in the sacred realm shape and create our experiences in the waking world. The imagery and the insight in the Shaman's Dream Oracle draw from shamanic dream world of archetypes and magic and offer fresh contemporary interpretations. And then there's a little bit more that's already on the back of the deck. Now this one I haven't ever seen before. The imagery on the front called to me, and so I've not seen any of these like in a shop or anything. But we've got a couple of specific readings and how to work with this deck. She always has pretty interesting stuff. Okay, so let me just pop that out of the way. And already on the back, I mean, you can just feel the energy of these cards. It feels like this is like a portal into the dream world, I guess. Okay, so here we have a tidy house. Interesting. Beloved. Looks like a heart on fire. Oh, benefactor. I don't know if you can see these beautiful little mice, man. Oh, wow. How gorgeous is that? Caterpillar. And I love this. The caterpillar is a cat pillar, and it actually is a cat, and you can see the eyes all the way up in the caterpillar's body. Isn't that absolutely exquisite? Because this really is what the dream time can be. You see the strangest things in your dreams, and then you've got to bring them back and try and interpret them. So, you know, in the dream world, all sorts of strange things exist, and they don't always have to make sense. Closing door. Cosmic womb. I love that. Wow. Covenant. Crown games. Wow, I love the imagery. I mean, there's a body here and there's a crown almost where the shoulders will be, and then the head is below. Interesting imagery. As I say, often this is what our dreams look like, and we come back and we try and describe them to people or even just write them down, and we like, okay, what the hell was that? Balancing, oh, sorry, dances on one foot. Oh, I love that. It's a beautiful, it's a little fairy creature with like moth wings. Absolutely gorgeous. Deep diver, deep quiet. Oh, wow. Dragon's hoard. And look at this dragon. It's got like dragonfly wings. Really, really beautiful. Dream thief. And again, it's this imagery because you can clearly see like a monkey's face, but there's like an eagle's wings. Um, it's really, really fascinating imagery. Drifter, dust devil, empty well, eye of the needle. Wow. Eyes of the eagle. Oh, I love that. Wow, very potent imagery here. Falling angel, feast of plenty, first breath. So this is the artwork from the cover. Fool's embrace. Wow. This little creature reminds me of the tooth fairy in that movie, Guardian. What was it? Was it Guardians of the Galaxy? Or no, the Guardians. Oh, I can't remember what it was called, but not the ones. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It was the one with the tooth fairy and the Sandman and Father Christmas. The little tooth fairy looked like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Fortune's wheel. That image reminds me of the one on the back of the card. Really, really, really gorgeous. Galactic mushroom. Wow. Interesting that that's the divine matrix. I always talk about mushrooms being the root system underground that connects everything on the planet. The divine matrix. Very interesting. Garden of Venus, gathering around, heart home. Wow. Hollow bone. The imagery on here is so evocative. Horned cactus. Horseman in the hand. Jeweled web. Joyful muse. How cute is this little cat with these little butterfly glasses on? Lay of the land. Lost compass. Oh, also very much like the imagery on the back. Lost in space. The magician's sword. Many masks. Metox. Oh, wow. Instead of a detox, you're doing a metox. I like that. Mindful. Moon maiden. Netcaster. Overflow. Perfect storm. Wow. This beautiful. It almost looks like a raven, but the eye's too big. Looks like and then it's got peacock feathers. Really, really interesting imagery. Repairing the veil. Wow. There's like a tear here, and there are little holes where the laces are almost look like they want to pull these two pieces back together, and a ribbon in the middle. I love the imagery. Root girl. Sky bridge. Sky dancers. Sky writing. Spirit of the river. Stars in the sky. Straddling worlds, which I think we feel like we're all doing at the moment. Stranger. The crossing. Wow. The farther gate, as in something that's farther away, not as in the sort of father figure. The wall. Unmarked trail. Vanishing mirror. Wailing tree. Wow. Watches. Whale song. Oh my word. Look at this gorgeous picture. Willow the Wisp, Winter's Dream, and Wood Wives. Wow. 64 cards of very, very potent imagery here, and I'm sure the guidebook's going to allow one to get even deeper, but just looking at the imagery of these cards, I mean, you know, there is so much to unpack here. So that is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Really, really lovely deck. If you are somebody that dreams a lot and is into your dreams, this might be something that you could possibly work with. Looks like a really, really, really different energy here. I really feel like this is almost a cross between realms, between our waking world and our sleep world and our conscious world, our subconscious world, and our sort of everyday life. And then sort of when we go on shamanic journeys and travel to other realms and that kind of thing, but not just in our dreams, more as in a meditation when you're a little bit more aware. But you can just go into that slightly altered state, but you're not sleeping. Very, very interesting. So thank you so much for sharing in the unboxing of this with me. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing as much as I did. I am sure you'll agree with me that it has a pretty unique energy to it. And I often find that when people collaborate and do decks, you do really get a blending of their energies. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So the question I've asked is, what do your ancestors or your spirit guides have to tell you about your gifts? So in other words, the message on this box is, we are all sacred dreamers dreaming the world into being. So what I wanted this to do was to, for anybody out there who's maybe not sure what their purpose is or what they want to do, what really they're passionate about, what they want to bring, this might help you to go, okay, that's what I want to do. So what I really wanted this to be is, what is the world that you are have come here to dream into being? So in other words, to give you a little bit of information about your gifts and what those might be. And obviously this is not going to be, you should be a painter or writer, but the intention is really here is for you to tune in and hear beyond the words, because it might just spark something. And then even if it doesn't hit immediately during the reading, to pay attention to your dreams and to set that intention over the next couple of days after listening to this reading, that you invite your ancestors and your guides in and say, please show me more about that reading. Please give me a little bit more guidance about what it is that I'm here to bring. What am I here to birth into this reality? What am I here to dream into being? So that is the question I've asked. Here are the 4 piles. So I'm going to read them out, and then I would just, if it's not enough time, just pause the video and tune into which pile calls to you, which image calls to you. And maybe I would go with the image, but you might find that a word, the title of the card jumps out at you. If that's the first thing that jumps out at you, go with that. Just go with whatever it is. If it's the word, is it the image? Is it the color on the card? Whatever it is the first thing that draws your attention, go with that, because that's, as soon as we allow our head to get in the way, that's where the problem comes in. So immediately as these pictures come up, I want you to just go, which one jumps out at me? First one is hollow bone. Next one is the magician's sword. Then we have the deep diver, and then we have the jeweled web. Beautiful cards. Right. So if you chose hollow bone, this is your pile. Oh, wow. Okay, so the four cards I have here, I'm just going to hold them up so that you can see them quickly. Sorry, my tick is on the blink at the moment and I'm having all sorts of issues, but I didn't want to wait too long to get these out. But we have in the hand, Cosmic Womb, Woodwives, and Moon Maiden. So I'm just going to tilt those a bit so you can just see them. The Cosmic Womb almost looks like, it kind of looks like a planet, but that's all just crystalline frequency. The messages on here is in the hand, the universe is your partnership, and Cosmic Womb is the divine feminine. So those are those two. And then the other two are Woodwives is adaptability, and Moon Maiden is new beginnings. Okay, so let's just tune in here quickly and see what is happening. I'll show the cards again as I go. So Woodwives, adaptability. So what I get from this is that you are possibly somebody who is highly adaptable and has more than one gift. So you might find, if you think that you are, so maybe you think, let's think you might be, say, you want to teach or you want to do something. It might be that you can do that and you might be able to do something else, like, I don't know, something more creative or something even more spiritual. Maybe you want to read cards. So what I get from this is just to not put yourselves in a box, to not go, oh, this is not what this is about. So if you're somebody, there's somebody here in this reading that's picked this, that's going, what is my thing? And then trying to box yourself in to those little boxes. And this card tells me that you are not meant to be boxed. I mean, just look at the image on this card. She is a master creator. So the message to me here is that you might have more than one thing. And remember that it's okay to have what some people call like a portfolio of jobs. And it doesn't even matter if the things are not related. You know, you might find that you have a job, but then you create art on the side and there's an energy in your art and you sell your art and the two things are completely unrelated. It could be something like that. But this adaptability also shows that you are adaptable, and if you do have sort of one job and you know what that is, don't be surprised if you find it branching out into other things that maybe you wouldn't have imagined. There's something here about not being put in a box. I feel like, you know, you've got this adaptability, but you've also got the universe is your partner and in the hand. So like, and then you've got the cosmic womb. And what I get from all three of these is that almost like the world is your oyster, the world is in your hands. You're adaptable. You can almost do anything. So the only thing that might be limiting you here is your image of yourself or your perception of yourself. So try stepping outside your box. Try stepping outside of the idea of who you think you are. And then also this moon maiden, new beginnings. So what I get from this is that you might not have even tapped into what it is that you are here to bring to this realm at this time. This might be something that comes completely out of the blue, something completely new where you go, oh, that wasn't even on my radar. So if you have something like that that's been niggling at the back of your mind and you go, oh, but that's so out there, or that's so different to what I had in mind or the trajectory that I thought I was on, maybe you need to go and explore that thing that feels like it doesn't fit into the sort of trajectory of where you saw yourself heading. I also see that just in terms of something, that there's a lot of feminine energy here. We've got wood wives, we've got moon maiden, and we've got cosmic womb, the divine feminine. So with all of these energies, you might be working with women. You might be you might be doing something that is quite that is maybe it is just working with women. Maybe it's even something to do with just the rebirth of the divine feminine. It could be even something in you that needs to really connect with your divine feminine. Have you been too masculine? If you have been too much in the masculine, maybe you need to reconnect with your divine feminine within you. If you've had to become quite hardened through this life, can try and connect with your inner feminine, and that might be what then goes, oh, that's what I'm here to do. This is really lighting me up. So there's that aspect as well. So if you're somebody who has found it difficult to be feminine, maybe you've had to step into the role of sort of just putting food on the table, stepping into the role of more the provider, which is more the masculine. This is more it's like a dance. It looks like she's dancing next to the tree. This moon maiden looks like she's floating in like waters below the moon. We've got the cosmic womb. The womb's also full of water. So this to me is really speaking about either doing something that's working with the feminine. As I said, that could be you're helping women to do things, or young teenage girls to do something. But it could also be that you are needing to be more in flow to allow this to come in. Is there something about you that's been too rigid, too providing, too, I need to do? I've been in this very masculine energy. Do you need to step into your feminine in order to allow these gifts to be unraveled? And also even the hand is also like it's like a giving. It's also a feminine energy, a holding energy. But this tells me that you could even maybe be using your hands in some way, shape, or form. Not necessarily, could be a healer, could be some kind of healer, or you're working with your hands. You could also be working with your hands as an artist. You can also be working with your hands if you do light language with your hands. You know, you can speak it, draw it, and you can move with it. It could be that you're actually a grid worker. Um, but with all of this in here, I would also go that possibly you are could be some kind of coach, some kind of healer, some kind of working with really bringing back in this divine feminine. But you've got such beautiful messages on you, like the universe is your partner. So open yourself up to the universe, open yourself up to all these maybe seemingly a little bit out there ideas that you've never contemplated. You're adaptable. You've got this adaptability, new beginnings. And then the cosmic womb, the divine feminine, the womb is the place of creation. What are you going to create? What are you going to create? This the number of this hollow bone, which is the card, is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. This is also the beginning and endings of each cycle, new beginnings. Beginnings and endings of a cycle. What are you stepping out of? The womb. New things are created in the womb. If you're adaptable, you can jump from something old into something new. And well, the universe is kind of your partner. The sky is your limit, really, here. And this hollow bone, yeah, exactly that. When you take it down to the bare bones, go back to the bare bones, go back to bare basics, go back to the womb where the creation started, go back to this new beginning, go back to the bone, start trying to work from the ground up, back to the bones of something and just go, okay, I thought I was going on that path, but let's take it back to basics. And interesting here is the message on this hollow bone card is teachability. And in the beginning, I said you might be working with women, you might be, so it could be a teacher of sorts, not just a healer or a coach or a something like that, or a grid worker and even with these horns here, this ties into your adaptability. You've got so many different feathers hanging off these horns, and it's like, which one are you going to choose? And maybe remember this adaptability. Maybe you can hold all of those. You can have this portfolio of jobs. I always love the stag energy. It is very, 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 very powerful. Or not stags, but deer. Let me call it deer because doe, stag, it's just male and female. But the deer energy is very, very, it's also very, I find these animals incredibly gentle creatures. I always think of nurturing. They're very magical creatures. And maybe you need to have some kind of connection with the moon. See what you want to bring in around the moon cycles. It's a beautiful cards. The other thing I'm noticing is that we've got almost like the spectrum. So we've got the browns, we've got the reds, we've got the golds, we've got the greens, and we've got the blues. If you look at all the cards together, and it really is. You are the whole spectrum. You are. There's so many. There's so many colors in here that are, the blue, the green, the gold, the red, and the brown. You are all of this. Don't put yourself in one box, whoever you are out there. I feel like you have many, many, many gifts, and you can hold all of that. The next pile is the magician's sword. Wow, wow, wow. So this is somebody here is, I feel like you are going to be working with the planet in some way, shape, or form. Might be planetary work, could be grid work, could be maybe you want to be working with animals, maybe you want to be working with the land, maybe it's something in conservation. And I'm not talking about the conservation that we have now, of course, because these are a lot of the stuff that goes on this planet has been tainted or hijacked, and there is a guise of, oh, this body does this for the animals or for the land, or we're going to plant trees and we're going to do this. And it's all very fluffy on the surface, but behind it, there is nothing. So this is really when our ancestors are coming through with what are we here to birth in? Anybody that's watching a channel like this, you are not of that old paradigm, that old matrix. You are here to give something to bring something forward as we birth into this new earth. And I just feel like this is a very, very earthly energy, but also an elemental energy. So there could be two things with that. You could either be working with elementals and maybe that's coming online for you, or there's something about doing something for the planet. Maybe you want to rescue animals. Maybe you want to clean up the ocean. Maybe, something like that. But as I say, these can be quite new concepts. And the idea is after this reading to just tune in, ask your ancestors and your guides and your spiritual teams to come to you in your dreams, because if it doesn't land in the reading, it can come in your dreams. But let's just look at this. So this is a 37, which comes to a 10, which is the ending and the beginnings of cycles. And the message on here is confidence in your magic. So this tells me is there's something here that you've got there's a very elemental energy in this pile. And I mean, even the colors. I mean, I'm just going to hold them up quickly. We've got, and I'll read them to you, but we've got like a red, a green, a blue, and like yellowy kind of colors. You've got a whole color spectrum here. And when I go earth, air, water, fire, that's all I'm seeing here. Confidence in your magic. So let's unpack these a bit more. So the first one is the horned cactus. The message on here is resourcefulness, but this is very, very earthly. I mean, you can see there's a face in this cactus, but I really get an energy of Gaia with this, and resourcefulness. So resourcefulness, you are resourceful, but also resources are like planetary resources. Wow, I love this card. Look at the sun coming up behind it. The next one is Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom. So this card is the very red card. We've got mountains there. There's like a red moon in the background. Could be Mars. I don't know. It could actually even be the sun. But there is ancestral wisdom. So there is something that I think you are carrying in your line. And so you need to ask whoever's chosen this pile, you need to specifically ask your ancestors to help you out in the dreams. You are carrying something that is ready to be birthed now onto this planet as new Earth is arriving and being birthed. Lay of the land. Look at these circles here in front. Are you going to be doing grid work? Are you going to be doing, and as I said, this can be something more spiritual like grid work, but it could also be that you want to be actually like boots on the ground doing something with the land, with conservation, with Gaia. We also have the spirit of the river. So here's the water, movement towards adventure. So maybe this is something that you've not really considered, but you've got land energy, you've got this lay of the land, but this like red fiery energy with that moon or that whatever it is, the sun behind there. You've got the green, which is Gaia, and now you've got the spirit of the river. And this is why I say these are like the elements, but they can also be the elementals because confidence in your magic, the magician's sword. So you thinking a little bit out the box here. But I feel like this is a real calling, something that you've been working towards probably through many lifetimes to really, there's something about you helping the planet. There's some planetary work that you're going to be doing. And then we have the closing door. This is completion. And this is it. So you've been carrying all of this ancestral wisdom, this movement towards adventure, all the resources that you have in you, all that magic is now here in this lifetime to be completed. And the 5, change. This is not stuff that is here being done in this old way or the slightly warped way. And I don't know, I mean, I'm just thinking of Excalibur at the moment. I'm thinking of like Robin Hood. I'm thinking of Avalon. I'm thinking of, all some of those old ways that were squashed. You might even have a resonance with some kind of medieval era or Avalon type energies. But whoever's picked this pile, I feel like there is just elemental energy here. So you are going to be working with Gaia and the elements, or you are going to be working with the elementals, and they really are nature's guardians. They're nature spirits. So they are connected. It just, I guess, depends on whether you want to be more boots on the ground, like physically, or whether you're going to be working more energetically and etherically. But whoever you are, I feel like you want to do something with conservation, with nature, with magic, with the elements, with the elementals. You might be working more with water, more with land, more with the earth. You could even be, that might even be that you're going to bring some kind of new, like what is the word? Like sort of farming or food ways for us to grow food and stuff like that. I mean, there are so many options in here, but I feel like this is very much to do with earth. And the message here really is this is so could be something completely new coming in for you, beginning and ending of cycles, but have confidence in your magic. You've got the ancestral wisdom. Ask your ancestors to light that up for you. You are resourceful. You have them inside you. Moving towards adventure. This could be something new, but this is what you've come here to do. This is the completion. This is the completion of all the stuff, everything that's been building up to now, all your lifetimes, you are here to do something with the earth or of the earth or with or of the elements. Big, big mission that, whoever you are. And remember, it doesn't have to be all of it. You can still do something on the side. Maybe you've got a day job of some sort or whatever, but this is really something for you to be stepping into and to becoming aware of. That this is like a mission, like something that you've been working towards, you and your ancestors have been working towards for many, many lifetimes. Beautiful. Go spread your magic. Okay, the deep diver. How interesting is that? So the deep diver is also number 10 card. All of these piles seem to be coming to a number 10. Tens are always the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. So it's like all of these are speaking to kind of like that there is change, that there might be something that you'd not necessarily thought of. Okay. Now the message on here is diving into a task. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Wow. This is really quite beautiful. So I'm going to just show the cards quickly. We've got the fallen angel, root girl, whale song, and beloved. And I see here water, fire, air. It's probably roots are more earth, even though it looks like burning roots, but we definitely have water, fire, air, and earth here. And diving into a task. The deep diver is also a watery energy. The messages on these are for the falling angel is spiritual narcolepsy. So for somebody, whoever's picked this pile, you are not fully aware of what you're here to do. The spiritual narcolepsy, perhaps you are even like a pretty like an angelic being, but you haven't had that full remembrance yet. That's what I get from this card. And we are all still waking up, and none of us have all the answers. But this is like you're something quite extraordinary. You are definitely not just the human that you think you are. You are a falling angel. And remember that this is quite beautiful, because it's not necessarily the falling angel as the fall, but it is when we come down, I'm almost getting more of a coming down, stepping down my frequency, stepping down, stepping down, stepping down into human form. But I am this high vibration angelic energy. It's not a fallen angel, it's a falling angel. And as I said, that to me is the stepping down. You've had to really step down your frequency to come into this human body. You are an angel walking in flesh. Wow. And I mean, how beautiful then that you have root girl, the disowned self. But so stepping down, stepping down, stepping down, maybe you're also somebody who feels very flighty and like it's not easy to be here. But I get from this root down, root down. Remember, Gaia is your friend. But the disowned self. So is this something that you've disowned? Is like you haven't quite You haven't quite remembered exactly what you are yet. And possibly this has been an incredibly difficult journey. If you are this being and you have been here for a long time and you have been in all this darkness, there is probably a whole lot of that darkness that you have pushed away and disowned. What I'm getting here is it's time to let that go. It's time to release it. It's time to burn it, transmute it. Gaia can help you with this. The more you root in, and what's also interesting is in this card is it's almost like I get the face of like it's almost like a baby's face. And so you might need to go and do a lot of work with your inner child, your inner adult, your inner teen. Just do some forgiving. Just do some forgiving, some releasing. It's okay. We know we all came. You might be just having this mismatch between what your soul knows you really are, which is this high vibe being, and some of the darkness that you've walked through, collected, been, and had to endure while you've been here. But you are here to bring in something phenomenal. You are here to be the deep diver. This work here is you might even be so the message that I asked is what your gifts were. So you are here to bring in these frequencies, but you could be here to be some kind of coach, some kind of therapist, somebody that can take people through into their roots, be the deep diver. So that to me speaks about a coach, possibly a healer of some sort. You also get the whale song, which is resonating. And so if you can resonate with people, I almost get like you have healing powers. You have transmutative powers. You can help people to really just release these things. You can help the flow come back. You can help them step into their song. And you also need to step into your song. You know, what's interesting is that the whales are the keepers of all the um, memories, they are the keeper of all the history that has happened on Earth. So maybe what you need to do, what I'm getting from this is if you have a particular angel that you resonate with them, for you to tune in before sleep at night and try and connect to the whales, maybe even play some whale music. I feel like there's this rootedness, there's this very deep, like you've come in and you've been here, but you're here as this high vibe being in physical form. But but you need to dive deep to find out exactly, you need to almost uncover this, and when you've uncovered this, then you will know exactly what you're going to be doing. But the message that I'm getting is if you've got an angel that you're attuned to, or your own guardian angel, call them in as well as your ancestors, and then play some whale music. Try and tune into the frequency of the whales. I feel like the whales have got a message for you as well. The whales may help to unlock this, because remember, the whales, their sound is a frequency. And whales are like seventh dimensional, ninth dimensional beings. So here we're talking about this very high dimensional frequency here, this high dimensional energy. If ever you had any doubts that you were not a mere human, that you are this galactic soul, let this be it. And the last card is beloved, and it looks like a heart on fire. And the message on here is radical acceptance. And I feel like this is going to be a radical, you're going to have to almost come to this radical acceptance and this radical like realization of, I am this. I am this. I am this frequency. And again, this is like a heart. I was going on earlier, maybe about healing or coaching or something like that. And you might find that even if, I do look at this the deep diver. The deep diver could be that you just are now having to do your own deep dive to uncover this. And it might be that just once you uncover this, is that your frequency, this high frequency of you being here, just you walking around, is enough. And you carry on in your day job but that is, once you've uncovered this and you let it shine, that ripples out like massively. It is so potent. So this could be you, because of course we do have the number 10, which could indicate something ending, something beginning. But you could be stepping into a new role, or it is just unveiling your true self and then staying in the role that you're in, but now that you know who you are, that all these disowned parts of you, all these roots that might just be covering up this memory, once those are all gone, that frequency is really what you're here to do, what you're here to, and you might want to do that in a career, but what I'm getting from this is that you might not need to. But you've got to uncover that frequency. That is what you're here to bring. Wow. So go on the deep dive. There is nothing to fear here. Wow, whoever you are, let me know in the comments. This is phenomenal. Angels do walk amongst us. And I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. This is really hard in this body. Really, really hard. Really, really hard to be here. In fact, you may have wanted to check out more than once. The pile, the jeweled web. Wow, there is so much color in this. Woo. The jeweled web is connectivity. And I was just thinking how there's all colors in all of these cards, like everything is connected, like all of these energies are interwoven. And this is the web, the jeweled web. Okay, just going to show you the cards quickly, and then I'll go through them. You can see what I mean about the colors. Look at those colors. Okay, so let's dive in here to see what gifts you are here to uncover. Repairing the veil. Forgiveness. Okay, so this just looks like a stick with kind of a bow on it, but what it is it's almost like they are trying to stitch this veil together, this sort of frequency or this realm behind there. But it is forgiveness. And what I get from this is I am connecting that to a web. You know, when we repair the web and what have you, we have this connectivity. But when we repair the veil, and well, when we forgive ourselves is how we repair things. It's how we move forward. If you forgive yourself, you step back into that interconnectedness of everything. If you can't forgive yourself, then it's what's coming in is just that there will always be that separation. So the connectivity and the forgiveness is definitely tied in. And then the next one is lost compass, getting back to integrity. So perhaps you've lost your way in this web and in this lack of forgiveness, and it's just getting back to integrity. And remember that the truest parts of ourselves have that integrity, but because we've been here walking through darkness and stuff, we may have lost some of it, but it's not really it's not lost. It's not, to me, it's not lost. It might be that, to me, this lost compass is just that the real you, the essence of you has been covered up, because that is your compass. Your heart is your compass. Your soul is your compass. So, and when you get back to integrity, that's when you forgive yourself, when you reclaim, remember that you are connected, you are not separate. So to me, this is not necessarily a, how this is speaking to me, and this is the reclamation and the shining through of your inner compass. And that's really how you get back to that integrity, because you lose everything that you are not, because you start to reconnect as you forgive yourself, as you do the work. The brighter and brighter and brighter your light can shine. The next card here is mindful. So not mindful, because it's got a double L and it's two words, and it's groupthink. So what's speaking to me here is that, is your mind full? So this lost compass, I'm just really seeing emptying the mind. So letting go of all the things that you think you are, all your beliefs, all your to get back to this integrity, to forgive yourself, to perhaps your mind is full of things that are preventing some of this, preventing the forgiveness, preventing this compass from really starting to shine. And it's also a group think. And what I get from that is really, if your mind is full and you are feeling a little bit stuck, the best way to do that is to connect to your team of light, to connect to your ancestors, to connect to, remember, your ancestors are just other, they're other fractals of you, but they're part of you. So this group think is more this, what I'm getting is this collective energy. So call in your ancestors, ask them to come and be with you in your dreams. Ask your soul, your higher self, to come and help you, so that if your mind is full and you're struggling a bit, maybe feeling a bit stuck, you need a group. You need like a group. You need a group think. You need like two heads are better than one type thing. I need something to bounce this off. And what I'm even getting from this is that if you have somebody around you that maybe you admire, could even be somebody in your family, it could be a friend, something like that, that you know that you can go and bounce things off, that where you go, feeling a bit stuck, I really want to do this, but I'm not sure because I don't know about that. Now, well, maybe I don't feel like I'm good enough for it. All of these things that fill the mind. If you've got somebody, go and bounce off your ideas and your desires, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. Go bounce it off them and see what comes back. Allow somebody else to be a reflection, because sometimes we can get stuck in the mind. Because look at everything that is awaiting. You've got flowers, it looks like there's like some kind of being sitting on top of that little, I don't know if it's some kind of structure. I was almost thinking of like a square. It reminded me of a square pyramid. I mean, a pyramid can't be a square, but you know, I mean, like something with blocks. That's what I got. There's a clock there. There's going into the galaxy. There's underneath the earth. I mean, there's there's cosmic stuff here. There are trees. There are orbs everywhere. There are things underneath. There are things hidden. There is beauty. There is magic. There are other realms. So this is your invitation to get out of your head and allow this magic. And these are all these possibilities. Is your mind full? And do you need some other perspective? Do you need somebody else to reflect something back to you? Because that will lead to this coming online, It might even lead to, oh, I didn't realize I needed to let go of that, repairing my own veil, forgiving myself, and leading me back to this, everything is connected. You are the jewels. You are the jewel in the web of this existence. And this one I absolutely love, but this is stranger and it's curiosity. And this ties in so much to this. Everything that you might think, get rid of that and become curious. Become like you are a stranger getting to know yourself is what's coming in. Get you you're a stranger. Remember, this is hidden. So you are a stranger to yourself. And if you can approach this journey with curiosity and an open mind and are like, wow, what am I going to discover? Like what is out there? What kind of magic? Like what is really out there? There's beautiful butterflies and things in here. There's such hope, such joy. Look at all there's such darkness behind them. As you stitch this together, it's going to look completely different from what it looked before. This is not all there is, but you might just be, this is what you might be holding on to in your mind. You haven't fully appreciated that when this closes and you only see that light, exactly what that's going to feel like. That's your return to self. So can you accept that you are a stranger to yourself? And can you approach yourself with curiosity, wonder, awe, and go, what am I going to uncover? Now, looking at all these things in terms of your of the question that we asked, which is, what are your gifts? Hmm. I so from here we've got a compass. I go, this is you've almost got like and this web, if you're in a web, it's the web of life, the web of the universe, the web of everything is interconnected. And the compass, you could almost go in any direction. Once you've got your center and this thing is able to be working properly, it will guide you. And this is full of all possibilities. And having this curious mind and being open to everything and the awe and the wonder and the magic, I almost go, the sky's your limit. I don't even get a sense of what it is that you might be doing. You could have some kind of healing thing where you might be helping others. You could be a guide for others, some kind of coach. But I mean, I believe, it's interesting because I believe that I know we're all healers because we all heal ourselves. That is really healing us, not a healer. And we are our own guides because this is what the inner guru is. So it kind of sounds like a bit of a cliche and it does keep coming up. But when people go, oh, I want to be a healer or a coach, or why are there so many of us? Because we are all that. We have an inner guru. We are our own guru and we are our own healer. So it's quite an interesting one, and sometimes it does come up, and I think it came up in one of the other readings where there was a very strong coach healing type energy. But this feels more like a you getting to know yourself, a you having to do something. Um, and this reading is more for me about you working on you discovering who you are, you working with yourself because you are the stranger that's not fully quite unveiled yet. And and in that journey, or as you go through those things, your mission and purpose is you're then going to know exactly which direction you need to go in. So this one's a little bit ambiguous, but that's what's really feeling right for me as I sit here and read this, is it's almost like the others had some kind of much clearer answers. This is more the journey inward to the self, the remembering, not finding, remembering the jewel that you are in this web. And when you remember what that is, this whole web's almost going to light up like this compass will, and you will know exactly what it is what it is that is your calling. But what's very unique about this one is that finding somebody else to get some input from. Maybe you need to go and see a coach or somebody like that. As I said, you might even have a friend that you, as I'm talking to you, are going, I need to go and ask so and so about this thing that I've had on my mind, this idea or this whatever, or this nagging thing that's there. This is about you going and just you want what you need from this is a reflection. And you know, the stranger has also got he's got his reflection in the water. So I'm feeling like reflection from your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, your soul, but actually physically here in the world. I mean, these are all quite physical things, although there's a lot of magic in here. But this is a going to somebody so that you can have something reflected back to you. I feel like that's going to start just unlocking everything for you as to what it where you're meant to be, what is this thing that needs to happen. This almost, you know, I almost feel like if we pulled this and it started to open and unravel, what like thread, you just need somebody to pull that thread for you or to ignite that spark, and then you're going to go, and then there's almost going to be maybe like this opening up where you are going to discover, and you're going to go, oh, how did I not see that before? Of course, that's what I'm here to do. So I hope that's made sense, because this one is quite different from the other three. And also the number on here is quite interesting. All of the other ones, the card on the top came to a 10, which is the beginning and ending of cycles. So stepping out of the old and into the new. This one here is 32, which is a 5. This is all about change. So I feel like this is more an internal process for you, but having something reflected back to you, or going and speaking out the words so that you can almost have the bouncing back to you, like the universe will show you. You'll be shown in dreams. Ask your ancestors, ask your guides. But this is some kind of inner change for you, and that will then, when you can have that thing reflected back to you, and you then go through that change, then you will have the answers that you seek, if that makes any sense. I know it's a little bit ambiguous, but this pile is very different from the other three. It seems like this is very much it's very much your own journey of discovering and remembering, but you might need somebody to help you just reflect that back. So whatever that's like, a coach, going to see somebody, a trusted friend, somebody that you know is going to give you an honest answer, that is going to, you know, and approach them and go, I need to bounce something off you. That's exactly what you're doing. You want to bounce something off somebody, because sometimes when we live in our head, and that's that mindful thing, when we live in our head, it's like I talk to myself all the time. When I've got thoughts in my head, I find that when I speak them out, automatically I am, sometimes even I'll sit down with somebody and I'll go, I want to just talk to you about this. And as I'm busy talking to them, the epiphanies are landing. But I couldn't do that while it was still all in my head, if that makes any sense. You need to be speaking these things out into the ether, into the web of the universe. Speak them out into existence. Speak out your fears, your desires, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, whatever it is. Even your hurts or your wounds, with somebody that is trusted. That's what I'm getting from this, is that you need to speak them, you need to voice them. And this whole thing is this, with that we're all sacred dreamers, dreaming the world into being. This feels to me like getting out of your head and really bringing yourself into more being. Stop. Maybe you live in your head a little bit. Maybe things are not clear. If this has resonated, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. This is so unusual. It's got to compare. It's I feel like I'm working with a different deck in this one. It's got a totally different energy to it, the cards and everything. So I hope that was helpful, even though I didn't really, it wasn't as clear as some of the others were. But I feel because you need to uncover it. Maybe you need to even untangle the stuff around you that isn't yours so that you can find that jewel. All right. So thank you so much for being here and let me know in the comments if that was your reading. Wow. Okay. I hope those four piles were inspirational and just have ignited something for you. Whichever pile that you chose, know that it's right at this time. You might want to come back to this reading and check it out again for another pile. These were quite beautiful messages. There was one deck that one pile that was really, really unusual, but I do love that they all were a little bit different. Yes, definitely we're all here to just really bring our own unique selves to this wild party that we're having here on Earth. So I do hope. Let me know in the comments which one you took. I do want to hear. This was a pretty awesome reading to do with these four little piles. If you're still here and if you've watched it and enjoyed it, thank you so much and wishing you a magical weekend.